Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the series you do know and love, and I know we are really tired of seeing the samurai, but I really hope you can put that hate aside and just watch one more samurai video. Or you could stick around and watch me bash Orochi mains if that floats your boat. Orochi's kind of known to be one of the most annoying heroes in the game, and it's only other tied with other samurais like Hito, Shinobi, or Kyoshin. It's great to just think that this faction harbors the most hate, and it's only 3 of the characters. Nevertheless, let's take this hate and go and judge some helmets, shall we? And there's a lot of helmets here, so just don't be surprised if I skip all the really
What
bad
the
ones,
fuck
because
is
all the
this
low rep
piece
ones are
of
really
shit?
bad. Every Roach has to kind of start somewhere in life, and just like how other people were drawn to Warden for his longsword, people were drawn to Orochi because, smelly weebs love katanas. If there's one thing more iconic in the melee weapon universe than a sword, it's truly a katana. So many people just own katanas, so when they saw a fighting game where a man wields a katana and takes on knights and vikings, they physically cream their pants. Just like new players all around the world, they just hit the light attack button, can't counter guard break to save their lives, and the zone button just does not exist because they didn't even know it existed. You're a mega edgelord, huh? Let me guess, 14 years old maximum? You think the world is really out to get you every turn of the way, and you spam really edgy music on Spotify while you play duels and nothing but light spam people to death. You own one of those face masks that have a skull and I think you look like Ghost from MW2, but you look yeah, you really just look stupid. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. This helmet's just kind of weird, and I'm not even gonna lie. You're most likely somewhere between Rep 3 and 5, and you glaze over any and all armor with gold trim or spikes. You know that since it's not a skull mask, you're not edgy and all, but we know that you're screaming at your monitor anytime you die to a black prior flip. You have a love and hate relationship for this helmet because the art on the face looks really cool and nice, but the permanent piss green and yellow neck fabric on all of Orochi's armor, you just really hate. Nevertheless, you watch a healthy amount of Nova King, and then hop on the game and try to replicate, but to no avail. Look, guys, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I didn't even realize this helmet existed until today. Because just nobody uses this. But, it's unique enough to talk about. Maybe I can shed some light on it. Any Roach actually trying to use this helmet as quote-unquote fashion is attempting, a Joker cosplay. There's nothing closer to the Joker than a massive grin, and this helmet does give it. They 100% have bought the purple armor material in an attempt to make the iconic purple jacket, and just like the Joker, these Roaches do a little trolling, and by a little trolling I mean spamming kunai, longbow, and ki at people not locked onto them. Now we finally get into the real meat of the helmets, and we are starting with such a big one. The Home is probably Orochi's biggest war pick he owns. If there was a helmet in the game that could cause radiation poisoning, it would be the Home. Look at the face and tell me this doesn't just irradiate toxicity. These guys think they're hot shit, the best of the best, thinking themselves deflect kings, but if you ask them to show you any clips of them deflecting people, he just can't show you anything because he doesn't have anything. No, in reality, these guys just spam Storm Rush over and over and over again, foaming out the mouth if anyone on PC can actually parry their Storm Rush or is smart enough to just lock onto someone else and parry it, making it so much easier. These guys bought the puke emote and used it on anyone who actually gives them a fight because they cannot stand the thought of losing. This is probably the most overused helmet in all of Orochi's kit, and, it's commonly used by any Orochi on the planet. Before you ask, well, wouldn't that make it a war pig? Well, no, because these guys really just don't care enough to know anything. Orochi's just a strong character, and they know it, and they don't bother with the toxicity or trash talk. They mostly just have Orochi between somewhere in the reps of 14 and 20 and just use him whenever they want to have fun, because, that's what Orochi is. He's just kind of fun. These guys are your embossing lovers. They went so far as to unlock every embossing, even the one for being the campaign unrealistic. Every single piece of armor is covered head to toe in engravings and men attempting to match the helmet's look. They never wore ornaments because just, the little fins on the side were enough and they don't really want to cover the face on the helmet. These guys are your no creativity full black Apollyon color palette Orochis. And Apollyon is probably the only color palette they've ever favorited in their entire lives. These guys are your high rep light spammers, constantly attempting to hit you with any lights they can. When that doesn't work, they turtle waiting for their kunai to show back up and waiting for the follow-up zone after it for that free damage. These guys are just your basic lovers of anything casual. Normally not trying as hard as their teammates really want them to, but they really don't care and they play at their own pace. Most likely rocking a single color. Orochis, these guys have a sense of who they're playing. They know that they're a bit broken in today's state of the game, but they really don't care and shrug off any trash talk they receive. Not because they think that they're better than you, but they really just do not care. The most effort they'll actually put into the game is deflecting people, but that normally doesn't work out that they want, and the outcome is that their light dodge attack gets parried because they input the light attack before the deflect animation showed up. Hanari Roaches love dodge attacks and they adore them a lot. They play Roach because the most satisfying thing for them in life is consistently dodge canceling away from any attack that would have hit them. It's a real shame that that's the only thing they actually know how to do with this hero. I swear if you're annoyed with a Hanari Roach, just sit there for a second, feint to heavy, and watch as they just back dodge light attack you. And they will never learn from this mistake, and they will do it over and over and over again. They will make this mistake so many times, but instead of owning up, they blame their team for not quote-unquote peeling for them, or they actually think that the enemy is cheating, because there's no way you could have parried the 4th neutral dodge attack in a row. These guys are really only playing Orochi to try to max out his drip instead of max out his actual skill. Sadly, having very little actual usable armor, they end up just becoming one of those drooling drones that became a full golden Orochi using Marigold. They just sit there in the lobby thinking, yeah bro, look how cool I look. I look like a Call of Duty camo unlock. But like dude, you're not the 1st, or the 2nd, or the 3rd, or even the 5th Orochi everyone's seen with its exact same drip. In fact, the last match before you even joined, someone else had the exact same setup you did. The point I'm trying to make is that these guys think they're fashionistas, but rocking the full default armor would be more unique than what you're trying. These guys are mostly running the full set, basically. They don't actually care about how they look, they more care about their KD. You'll find Karagawa or Orochis running away from fights more often than actually winning them, because most of the time these guys are waiting for kunai and longbow to come off cooldown and try to kill you when you aren't looking. So they spend most of the fight just backstep lighting you into their unblockable to break your indicators. Man, just talking like this, you're just kind of an asshole, huh? Okay, first off, whoever makes names like this, I would rather dip my balls into a deep fryer than attempt to say this name correctly. These guys are like the war pig counterparts, but some of the most toxic, unloved, and hateful people in all of For Honor. I don't know who shit in your Frosted Flakes this morning, but just because you lost one fight in Dominion does not mean you need to pull out every racial slur in the books that makes the Boondocks look like family-friendly content. I'd be surprised if these Roach mains had... I wouldn't be surprised if these Roach mains had at least one chat restriction or a full chat ban for the heinous things they say about other people's families. You're just one of those people who just truly enjoys matte color palettes, most likely either committing to the full black the helmet gives you or going for a white iron to mix all white Orochis. There's no other options these Roaches go for because nothing else looks good other than black or, well, white. These guys are awfully quiet all game, rather keeping all of their thoughts, even the bad ones, to themselves, other than to make it go public. To themselves, they would rather just, deflect their feelings away. These guys can get really, really frustrated normally at their teammates for their constant fuck-ups, but one deflect kill will make them forget about all the things that they were mad at in the first place. Yeah, that has been all the Roach helmet stereotypes I wanted to make, and yeah, okay, there were a lot of helmets I missed, but let's be real, 60% of these you would just never see the light of day, and they will always be overshadowed by the pristine options. As always, I hope you guys have a fantastic day.